Good morning!
Morning.
I thought we were going to do that together. I was playing. She didn't do it. She tricked me. Anyways, guys. So, you guys have been asking for a long time and bugging us both a lot. It was almost annoying. Kinda. But you guys have been really wanting us to work on the inside of the house and go on trips in the van and whatnot. And it's finally happening. Finally started working on the bedroom, and that's almost, I wouldn't say a year in the making, because I didn't start building this house, but it's been at least half a year in the making before getting in this house, and I'm excited. And you went on your first official trip in the van, but didn't get to sleep in the van.
No, unfortunately, and I didn't know this beforehand, you can't pull up to your campsites. You have to park in the parking lot and walk to your campsites, and they were all like that, so no, I didn't get to sleep in the van. I personally would have just chilled at the campsite and then slept in the van, but Jessica, my friend who I went with, she insisted on sleeping in the tent, so we did, and then she tried to wake me up to go sleep in the van, so.
That reminded me of the time that, old Bubba,
Wanted to camp in the backyard.
Yeah, so little nephew, he was 13?
12 or 13.
12 or 13 at the time, and a couple of years ago, but he's a city kid, and he came out to country the first time he came out. He was like, why are the houses so far apart? He didn't know in the country, you don't live right next to each other. And so we got out there, and he'd been wanting to camp. And so I don't think we had a tent or anything. So we were just like, hey, we had a fire pit area out in back. It's at Jared's house where he lives. But we were just kind of like, we pulled the truck up. We're just like, you know, we'll just sleep in the back of the truck. Or he wanted to sleep in the back of the truck. And I said, it's going to be uncomfortable because the back of the bed, you know, is kind of wavy on the bottom. No, I want to do it. I don't remember he was crying when he woke up, but he definitely probably wanted to cry. It was so uncomfortable.
Not only was it just uncomfortable to sleep on, but I'm pretty sure it got pretty chilly outside.
Yeah.
And so I think we woke up in the middle of the night and all went inside.
Yeah, but it was one of those, like, sounds like a cool idea to sleep in the tent, but not really.
Well, it's like we didn't have an air mattress or anything like that. In the ground, I'd rather sleep on dirt, but this was sand.
Yeah, that's the worst, because it doesn't, like, it molds to your body, but it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like just sleeping on, like, a frozen mattress.
Well, and it was, like, slightly wet. So it didn't move. It was just flat and hard, and it was just very uncomfortable. And it got pretty cold, too.
But I slept on some rough terrain in my tent out here. I mean, literally, you used to look anywhere and there's rock, and that's what I slept on.
Yeah, we slept on rock in Colorado, too.
Yeah, and what's funny is, like, when I had my tent over here, I did, like, a 24-hour challenge of just staying in the tent and not doing anything. I had to find the perfect shape on the ground to, like, curl up. Like, you don't sleep straight. You kind of go around the rocks that aren't bad. And I found it, and I was just like, don't move. This is it. But, yeah, we've been there, done that. But now, I wanted to get this room in here, this room right here, that was going to be the bathroom. And then I decided, no, I want a room. Because, one, it gives you a little bit of extra sleeping space. But, two, I have my computer. I want to start recording a bunch of my own music and stuff like that. I bought just like a little interface to do stuff. I already had recording gear and guitars and all that stuff. So it's just something that at the end of the day, when it's dark, there's not much to do. All of it can be run off my Jackery, and it gives me something to do. Then I can make own music for the videos. Hey, this probably don't look good in camera. And you know, do all that. So being able to work on that is an awesome thing after so long of not, and it's going up pretty quick, I'd say.
Yeah, pretty fast. I think the whole entire house, like as far as the walls and stuff go, it's going to go up pretty quickly.
And that's stuff we've done before. And then Jaylena's van's getting really close to being finished. There are a few things that she's talked about doing. We're not 100% sure if it could be done yet, but if so, I think it'll kind of change the layout of the van a little bit, a little more space, a little more storage. I think it'll work great. So
I'm even considering changing a few things that have not like anything crazy, but changing a few things that I already have laid out in the van. It wouldn't be too much like what would you call it? Like not construction, but like a.
she's just
I don't. There's a word for it. I can't think of it.
she's putting a new concept to it. We'll say that.
A little bit. Like like I said, living in the van while I'm building it changed things a little bit. And now having the cats with me has also changed my perspective on the layout a little bit. So I want to tweak it here and there to kind of compensate for having the cats with me.
Yeah. So being able to finally get to the point where it's like you could see the finish line is super, super cool. Of course, there's no rush. There's no nothing like that. It's just a good feeling, and especially after everyone just kept saying, like, winter's coming, winter's coming, winter's coming. Like, you need to get on the inside. You need this. And clearly, as you can see in the photo, the wall's still not done. It's perfectly fine the way it is. I'm going to keep working on it. I am not completely finished with the outside, but it's enough that I don't know if it shook or not, but man, it was moving.
We just had an earthquake.
And it's enough to where I need to start working on the inside, but the outside I can finish up the little details and stuff on my own time, off camera. That's the tedious stuff that you don't want to watch for 2 weeks at a time. So I don't know, it's just very exciting that after being told over and over and over and over, you know, hurry up, winter's coming, you work on the inside, it's finally at that point where we can work on the inside and get it done. And another thing, on both our channels, we always get the comment, I sure hope you thanked Jason. I sure hope you thanked Jaylena. Guys, we thank each other all the time, off camera and stuff like that, and it's...
Well, we've thanked each other on camera.
Well, I know that too, yeah,
that.
And it's just, we almost want to come up with this skit to where it's literally, I'm like, hey, can you hand me that screw? Thank you. And then she'd be like, no, thank you. And then we'll just like, the whole time she's just like, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. You know, basically make it a overreacted video of that. But we're good. A lot of people, you know, keep asking if we're going to be in a relationship, if we're going to do this and that. We're good, and we'll figure things out the way we need to figure things out. Whether it's just friends or relationship, whatever down the line. We want to do things on our own terms, our own time, and with time, things will work out how they're supposed to work out. You know, whether that's in a relationship or not, I think the fact that we're sitting here right now is a huge accomplishment. A lot of people have left in comments said, it's awesome that you guys can at least be friendly with each other, because I'm assuming they went through relationship problems, you know, splitting up, either that they were married or not married or just normal relationship or whatever. To have this is huge, and I think that's a big accomplishment. So no need to rush anything or push anything. Like, if we said, all right, we're back in a relationship right now, we'd still be having the same conversations, doing the same things. Nothing's gonna, you know, it's just, don't rush it. Just, you know, you got to build up a good friendship and stuff like that. And we've always had a really good friendship, but we weren't together for a good while.
We were basically together from like day one.
Yeah, and so almost 24 hours a day.
It's kind of reconstructing a foundation for just a friendship right now, and kind of see where that goes. Yeah, so guys, please quit trying to push us into things. I know you're still gonna say it, but whatever. But yeah, it's super, super cool knowing that this house, you can kind of see the finish line, and I am way more confident on the inside. We worked on the shed to house. We did all that. Then we went down to the ranch and we did an entire old cabin, redid that. Did a little bit of cleaning and painting and stuff in the little trailer thing that we stayed in down there. Now doing this, doing the van. I mean, when it comes to interior and inside, we got it down a little bit more. We feel a little more confident. One thing I think is super cool about the van, and the fact that it is almost done, if you will, aside from some of the other things that I'm considering changing, once the countertops are in, I feel like it'll be pretty. It'll be almost like finished enough that it's comfortable.
Oh, you could easily go on trips
Yeah,
and
and so that's the thing though, is once the countertops are in, or even now technically, I can still go on trips. Like we said, if I go on like a 1 week or 2 week trip, come back, I can still work on the van like throughout time and like make those changes. It will evolve and it will change over time.
well, and that's the thing. That's kind of, I think that's what needs to happen before you. I always think it's weird because it's just the way I think. When people have this plan and say they get a van and they build the whole thing, they've never done van life, they've never really lived on the road much. They build the whole thing and then they go on their trip. Then they're like, man, I wish I would have done it like this or like that. So
you learn a lot of things.
yeah, in between stages, you kind of evolve, and it's kind of the same thing with this tiny house. It's like I didn't do the whole plan at the beginning because things evolve, stuff like that. And luckily, we've traveled quite a bit, a lot out of the truck, which was very uncomfortable, not good sleeping, stuff like that, like not enough room. We've lived on tour buses for, weeks at a time, stuff like that, to where you learn how to use small spaces, what you like, what you don't like, stuff of that nature. As of right now, she has a cooler. Eventually she'd like to get a fridge of some form.
Solar and a refrigerator, a small one.
Yeah, but now, as of right now, she has a decent cooler now. A lot better than what we were using before, but it may be perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could save hundreds of dollars on a mini fridge.
Yeah.
And then, all that. And then, of course, if you have a mini fridge, that has to be on nonstop. So you have to have the solar set up nonstop, all the stuff. So she may find out, like, I don't need that,
Yeah, and it depends. And like everyone has a different diet, so it depends on what I eat most of the time and stuff. And like really thinking about it, and like taking more trips I take, the more the longer I'm living in the van, and like the things that are changing. And it's like I appreciate the fact that I bought this particular van for the price that it was, the mileage that it had, and it's been amazing so far.
But it's not your forever van.
Yeah, it's definitely not my forever van, and it's making me think about the future and like what I plan on doing next. Like next time, I definitely would like something I can stand up in that has a little bit more room. So maybe like more of a shuttle bus or a short bus
or a transit.
Yeah, or
van.
if the budget
taller.
allows, some type of transit van or something like that. But it gives me, by the time I get to that point, I'll have a way better idea of
more
things
experience.
that I want and things that I need and stuff like that. So
yeah, and it's like this tiny house, like it's small. Technically, if you took this porch off, this house would look pathetic. It'd be so tiny, and the porch definitely makes it bigger. But I'm learning a lot of building. Again, we've done a lot on the inside before. I've never built something from the ground up. One, that's just a lot of pride. At the end of the day, just be like, I literally built that from nothing. Like everything out here so far was not here. I did not buy just a shelter. I did not hire companies to build my house. I literally did it with my hands. And yes, I got some help here and there, and I truly appreciate it. But with my two hands from the ground, I literally dug the first inch, because I can't dig much out here because rock, but to put a post in the ground, and at the end of the day, when it's done, I could just say I did that. And there's so much more pride in that than like hiring it out. Some people don't have the skills so to hire it out. Some people don't have the time, so they hire it out. I have learned that if I buy my forever property somewhere else, that would be like 50 acres and up. I don't know. I talked to Jacob. I was like, I don't know if I would build my house again, to be realistic. I think I've paid my dues. I may hire someone to do the frame, and then I'll work on the inside. But I might end up building it myself because I've learned so much, and I've learned suck up the pride and ask for help. I did it the hard way, and I tried to do it by myself as much as I could, and I found out you can do it yourself, but it's just 10 times harder. You can figure it out. I think, you can do it. You can do it by yourself and all that. But learn to suck up your pride and ask for help. No matter what it is you're doing. if you think you need help, just ask for help. It makes it so much easier. But I may not do that for my forever home. I don't know. It's just, you live and you learn, and the same thing with the van. If Jaylene bought that van, and literally, if I didn't help at the beginning and stuff like that, you know how to build, you were just rusty.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, it's like, because before I came to Oklahoma, I literally was about to buy a different van and do it myself.
I'm glad she didn't.
I was going to do it all myself and do exactly what I'm doing now, but it would have been pretty much only me. I do have some friends that like have tools and stuff like that they would probably, like, you know, I helped Bridget renovate her kitchen, and she has some tools, but I definitely wouldn't have had everything that Jason has here, and so it would have been a very different build.
Yeah, and when I say I'm glad she didn't do it that way, it's not like I'm glad you had me. It's, the van was not as good as this one.
It wasn't. It was more of like a cargo van.
Yeah, it had a low top.
Mm-hmm.
There was just certain things on it that I was like, eh. You could tell, like, the front grill was busted out. They kind of replaced it with stuff, so you don't know what it
I
did.
didn't notice that, though.
Yeah, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, no. And then we, you know, found this one, and it's way better of a deal. It worked out great. The worst thing that was wrong with it was the headlight was busted because they hit a bird. And at first we're like, did they hit a bird? Yeah, because...
like 2 birds and almost 3 on the way back down here. I almost hit another bird.
Yeah, and so, you know, she got headlights put in for fairly cheap, stuff like that. So it was a really good deal, all that stuff. And when she started building, like if she would have from the get-go been like, I'm building all this myself, it would have been fine. It really would have. But there were certain things that you just needed, I guess, get refreshed on. But when it came back down to like the cabinet doors and stuff, I didn't build those. I didn't do any of that. Like the frame for the whole countertop on the other side, or the counter, all of it, you pretty much built it. I helped hold and stuff, but she was able to do it. And now, if she gets another bigger van, I don't know how you feel, but I feel confident enough that you could do it yourself.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think that I could do it myself. Of course, it's like you said, it's always nice to have someone there to help you. I do believe I could do it on my own, but I'm not afraid to be like, hey, whatever friend I have around me at the time, like, you know, do you mind helping me a little bit? And then I can help you, you know. It's definitely, when it comes to people helping, it's give and take and not just take. So it's like, that's why, you know, Jason helps me with the van, I help with the tiny house. So it's not like, you know, you're helping me and I'm not giving you back anything in return. It's like helping each other. And
oh yeah, and I think that's something that people don't realize. So a glimpse in our day. Yes, we're only posting 1 video a week on the Crockers. She's only posting, what, 1 or 2 a week on her channel with the van. I got this thing stuck to the bottom of my... It's been bothering me. I think it's that spider web from earlier. And that we do coffee with the Crockers, you know, almost every morning. Now I'm an idiot, and I started 2 new channels, which will be coming out very, very soon. It'll be Crockers Live Action and Crocker Creations. So literally every single day, we're doing something. And it may not look like we're doing a lot because it's like, oh, the Crockers only posted 1 video this week and then went live. Oh, Jaylene only posted 1 video and then went live. Oh, Crocker Creations only posted 1 video. You know, it's, you know, Coffee with the Crockers, like, oh, they just talk in the morning, that's it. It's every single day we're doing something. It's just divided between channels. So we are constantly working, constantly doing stuff. Not to the point where we're burnt out, but literally our days off are working on something, you know. And then we take time off, go to Sawyer's or, you know, whatever, and that type of thing. But you have to be willing to sacrifice to get where you want to be and to learn the skills and stuff to get there. And woodworking, like this whole time, like camera's right here, the wooden rocking chairs right there. And I've been looking at it the whole time and I'm like, man, I could have done this a little bit better. Like it came out great, it looks good, but it could have been done a little bit better. But now I know. And, you know, if we build, you know, like a porch swing or something, you know, whatever it may be, now I know. So it's kind of the same thing with like Jaylene taking the van on a trip. All right, now I know what I want because it's experience. And the same thing with the house. now I know what to do on the inside. I didn't really know what to do on the outside, but now I know a little bit more. So I don't know. I just think it's cool. It's something exciting. It's I don't know. Again, to wrap it up, it's like everyone kept saying like, when you go work on the inside, you know. And there's new reviewers that said, I have never seen the inside of your house. And I said, well, there's nothing to see other than studs. If you really want to see that, go back to when I was putting the walls up. Because other than that, there's really, if you've been in a shed, that's what it looks like, you know. And now, I can actually show you guys what it looks like. And it'll be finished, you know. And it'll be cool to see start to finish, like the room and stuff like that. So, I don't know. It's cool to finally deliver, I guess you could say, what you guys been asking for a long time. And it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and it's like, I got to go on my first trip. I was with someone else though. Like, it wasn't my first solo trip, not even close. But that trip in itself, like, it was a good trip and stuff, but it definitely made me really want to go on a solo trip, just because traveling with someone who doesn't necessarily
anybody.
Well, traveling with someone who doesn't do YouTube and who doesn't understand like everything that you have to go through when you're like filming, especially stuff like hiking and because you have to make it look good. You have to get, you know, you have this picture in your head of the footage that you want.
You got to put the camera down, walk 50 feet past it, then run back, get the camera, then put the camera further ahead, then walk past that, like, you know, put cameras up in trees, like.
And I can understand how someone's like, you know, oh man, like this is kind of taken away from the experience because they don't have to do that. And I get it. I totally understand that. But it's like, for me, I don't mind it. And to me, it doesn't take away from the experience because I'm not doing it constantly. It's just every now and then you see something cool, you want to get that shot. You have to take a moment to kind of document that moment. And so it's definitely, I wouldn't want to take that experience away from someone. So I did feel a little guilty for kind of having to pause every now and then. So I definitely want to go on my own soon, just to kind of get that experience and film and document that experience, because I definitely think it'll be a little bit different.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, I talk about the Sawyers all the time, but we were there and I think it was Alex that brought it up. She's like, any project you do takes like 3 times the amount of time to do it when you're doing YouTube, because you have to constantly move the camera, do stuff like that. And that's what people don't realize, like, you know, working in the house. Like, this is the stupidest comment I get all the time. I've been building houses for 30 years. I gotta frame that up in 30 minutes. I sure hope so. If you have 30 years of experience, you should probably be better than the guy that's never done it. But the thing is that people don't realize is you're constantly moving the camera and stuff. And then at the end of the day, you know what you do? Upload the footage and edit. It's long days. There's so many days that you might only get 4 to 6 hours of sleep, maybe, if you're lucky, because you stayed up all night editing, then trying to upload the footage, all this stuff. Like, YouTube is a lot more work than people realize, and I think that's something that, if you're a viewer, please take into consideration. If you're watching another channel, you can talk trash to me all day, I don't care. But if you're watching a channel and you're like, man, you don't get nothing done, like, I could put a garden together way quicker than that. Well, they're also filming. They're being the battery died. I don't know where it ended. It just started going beep, we're like, bye. So I don't know if you saw any of that. But, yeah, we'll just go ahead and call it on this video. But, yeah, we're super excited to finally deliver what you guys been asking for. And, yeah, I am super excited to work on the house and potentially go on a trip to Florida, because it's opened up again, and do all that and get Jayleena's van finished and stuff like that. It's cool. It's exciting.
It is. It's exciting. Super exciting. I hope you guys are excited about it as we are.
Yeah, probably not. But alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get busy working on the house again, working on the van, all that stuff. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and if you made it this far in these long videos, thank you. We truly appreciate it. We know you guys don't have to watch, but it's an honor. You wanna tell folks bye, or?
Goodbye.